Hi guys, thank you very much for coming back to my channels, and to those new, thank you for stopping by. And in this video I'd like to share with you how to draw a pavilion. I'm going to draw a pavilion with the classical features, symmetrical structure with columns, arches, and with a simple rectangular cubic shape and more of a shell structure that showing the outside and inside of the structure. And again, the same method, but it's slightly different. So yeah, and I hope you stay in tune, stay to the end, and I hope it's worthwhile sharing. And thank you very much. I'm using this micron pen 0.03 millimeter nibs, and I set up this square shape in the isometric position to start with. This is going to be the position above this pavilion, the shell pavilion building structure in a square cubic shape. Pretty much the height, the width will be the same. Starting with the square shape of the isometric position, then of course I extrude the vertical line from above corner to the downward. The same techniques which I did with the other drawings. It is a repetition, but it is a repetition. This practice is about repeat the same techniques to make better, to improve. And this one is a different building, a different structure. But again, the method, the techniques of drawing could apply to all with the same techniques. Now that I create this cubic shape by extruding, I need to find the center point of this left side face here by drawing a cross diagonal line from which angle corner to find the center point for us, just like this. And the reason is I need to find 3 faces on this facade by doing this. Now I need to make a very fine line here. So by finding center point, then create this like upside down V shape where the line cross, that will be one face like this. Now I have 3 faces, basically 3 faces for the opening of this on this left facade. And I do the same techniques again, the same method on the right side here, just like this, to find the center point. The line could be a bit wavy sometimes, but it is okay. This line will be just a proximity where the central line is, so it look right in proportion in terms of perspective, because this drawing is a perspective representation of drawings without the conventional vanishing point. Now again, I find where the line met, and that will be the one side, to find the 3 faces on this right facade, just like that. And of course, because it's going to be lots and lots of lines overlapping each other, it is important to mark it, to identify, to locate where they are, because I'm going to do exactly the same things on the other side of this, which is hidden behind this left and right facade, but it will be open. It's a cavity shell anyway, so exactly the same method to find that 3 faces. Just cross the line, find the center, and do the V upside down V shape when the line cross, and there are 3 faces like this. This one, This is a time where it is very important to pay attention on this drawing before I get lost in this multi-layers of drawing. And the same method, just like this. Cross, another one there. 1 and 2 and 3 bases. Now I need to find the center point of this because I need to divide into 4. There, I already find the center by using that cross line already. Now this is using proximity, the divide into half again. The back, again another half of that. Just it's quite easy when the line is already there, just project it, just like that, connect. So I see at the front, at the back of this facade. Now I need to find the center point of each of these face by doing the same method, crossing the line from corner to corner. It is optional to find the center point. You can use the just observation when you get used to it, but this is about exercising the techniques. Once you know how it works, you don't need these references, you just do it. But the stage is for those who like to learn how to do drawing without the vanishing points, using lines to start with as references, guidelines. Now, using these techniques, crossing, I'm going to create an arch opening there. Because it's not flat, because side view, so it is important to create this line as the reference, just like this. Another one there. In side perspectives, so it is using that line, of course it's applied to all of them, so I know roughly how would it curves in relation to that cross line. I suppose it was a flat lines. Now I'm adding the offset that line, the arch offset inward, because the outline was just the reference. Now offset inward, just like this. At this stage, it is about combining lines, using those lines as reference, as well as using observation, roughly where the shape of these curves, arches, in relation to these lines as the multi-layers of this line, as guidelines. And of course I will do the same thing, apply the same techniques on this side too. I did that. I'm not going to show too much of that, how I cross the line. Just now showing how I do the, just skip it through, because I already shared that from the, on the left side of this facade. But now just try to move forward with the drawing of the curve, the circle shape of these arches in side perspective, in side views. Basically the same thing, just mirroring it. Now, this is very important to pay attention to this. This is the inside of this, similar, but from the inside views of these arches, because it's is a pavilion where the cavity inside. So what you see, the view outside is about going. The view could be seen inside from the outside as well. So it is a symmetrical structure, and what outside is similar to what is seen inside. But the idea of this exercise, the idea of this drawing exercise is about how to draw this shell of this pavilion, indication of the structure from outside, and also the inside of this building structure, and how to draw it effectively using similar techniques in perspective without the vanishing point. And at this stage is about adding as much information as possible, like everything, like any other drawing that I did. So pretty similar techniques, but this is from the inside. Again, crossing the line, create this arch, just like that, and offset the lines. It is normal to create a line that's supposed to be vertical but be diagonal but be wavery sometimes. But not too worried about that, because this line will disappear when we add line weight into it or shade it. And again, the same techniques to that, just like this. You see, now the building structure begins to become more impulsive, more of a, as I was planning it, solid and cavity structure, pavilion structure with the classical features of this pavilion building. Now this is about adjusting my lines to make it slightly thicker, adjusting them, because once I have all the information I need, the reference in terms of location, in terms of positions, in terms of perspective sense, and now it's about adding the more lines that needed beside this, the position of each of these arches and columns. Not adding the line weight yet at this stage. More about adjusting how big they are to be more of a not exact, but it's more of a sense of a understanding of structure in terms of structure, weight, structure, scale. If it was too thin, it's gonna be unrealistic. Right now I have all the position of each columns that carry all these arches. Now I'm going to move forward into what happens above it. Of course, starting with the finding the central line point of this to carry on with the detail of that, rather than just empty blank wall, but adding the horizontal line by doing the center line repetition, central line. That how it will make the drawings much easier, really, doing this. Now I'm going to add the reference for this, the detail of this, where column meet with the arches above. Not too much detail, but a bit of a more of a reference, just a bit detail to show what's going on there. This is how it usually happen when it comes to classical buildings. It's a waste of detail where columns, where arches is resting on top of the columns. More kind of decorum really, rather than just more of detail to make it look a good, more of an ornamental features. This is more of Doric, I think, Doric or Ionic, not Corinthian column. Now the next one is to offset the inward. I'm adding to indicate the thickness of this building shell by adding that side. You can see on a side view of that arches, which indicating the thickness of this building shell, just like that, just like this. And of course on that column too, and now on this side too, on the right side. And of course the inside it. Done with the shell, the columns. Now I'm adding more detail on this wall. Suppose this bricks wall, brick structure. Right on top of the roof, I leave it because that will be the features of the classical features on that detail, more of a cornice, more the outline profile really, not too much detail on it. Such a small drawing like this is not easy to draw too much detail, end up can't see the detail too much. This is enough. Right, now I've done it. I'm going to add a bit of a footing on that column, where that column sitting on the foundation. Right, I've done the footing, now the column, done the arches, done the detail. Now it's about hatching it to shed this shell. Starting from the inside, it is always it is an idea to start with the darker part of it. By the darker part of it, of course, is the inside, because when you add more layers of hatching, by adding on top overlap, they become darker and darker. Just like this. I will be skipping a lot of this shed now because this is not really not much to share when it comes to shading this. I'm using a vertical hatch at the moment before I cross hatch it. Now on the corner will be two columns attached to each other, So what I'm trying to do here to make it thicker lines, to bring this two column come clearly visible. But before that, I'm going to add more again on hatch this side, because again, I like to keep my drawing into rhythm, where I want the light to be coming from the left, and on the right side of it will be much darker. For this exercise drawing series, I would like to keep it simple. I want to keep the rhythms. That's why most of these drawing, the light coming from the left, dark side is on the right. So of course I'm going to add more that shading it, hatch it on the right of on the column as well, and also the footing, just like this. But it is I would advise, it is a good idea to keep, from what I understand, I like to keep my hand far away from my pen nibs, because there are many reasons for that. It put too much pressure on my pen by keeping my hand too close to the nib. It could break it. At the same time, the drawing looks rather rigid, look weird, really. The result look rather basic. By keeping my hand smooth, distant, it gives the effect of a smooth flexibility of this ink pen on this drawing. It's wavery, but the wavery is part of it. It gives the texture. It gives the look good of the drawing, really. So now the same, I'm going to hatch that the inside as well, the arches is, and of course the column like this. I like to repeat this lightweight on the hatching over and over, rather than just do at once. Again, more again line on this, on the columns. Now a bit hatch on the cornice there, to bring that out, to make it overhang. To add thicker lines, darker, I'm going to put cross there too, and of course repeat the vertical hatching lines again to make it darker. And do the same thing on this one, but this one is going to be just lines. I don't want to make it too dark on this side, just a bit of a vertical line, fine lines of the vertical, just to keep up a textility of this material property, rather than just a white blank wall. Make it much darker there too, because the light coming from there, to bring the light penetrating through this opening. So make it much darker inside. Yeah, just like this. So it's beginning to look good now. Now I'm adding the shadow from the columns inward. It has to be cohesive, in rhythm with where the light coming from, so all the shadow will be the same directions. That's how it works, as simple as that. So yeah, this drawing is almost reached at the end now. So I just about adding the final touches to add much darker if you need to. Just like this, more on the pedestal there. Yeah, at this stage when I come to shading this drawing, it's about looking and adding more layers of lines if needed to. Yeah, whenever I put more lines on the left side, I need to add more again line on the right side to make sure it's always keeping that balance. The right side of the facade is darker, and repeat the same techniques, cross line and vertical lines, and of course checking on the to show the exposed and enclosed of this structure. So here it is. I am reaching the end of this drawing exercise now. I hope it helps you with your drawing project, whatever project you have out there. I hope it's helpful with your drawing project exercise. Thank you very much for watching. Once again, please subscribe. Thank you very much.